we are Nicola and Emilia.
Hi.
And we are part of the Brave Bots team. We are back with a new episodes of Brave Around the World. And today we have the honor of having the creepy Crawlies FTC robotics team. How are you?
Well, very good. Thank you very much.
We're glad to hear that.
Okay.
Great. Let's get started with the questions. First of all, tell us a little bit about your team. How it's structured. Maybe you are structured in departments, and how do you accept new members in the team?
Sure. So our team, we're the Creepy Crawlies. We're based in South Africa. We're team 16771. And so how we're structured currently, we have four team members, four main team members. I'm the captain. Then we have one more builder and two programmers. And that's the entire structure. Then we, of course, have our mentor, Karen Kabutz, who is helping us through all these years. Our system for getting new members is, since we are based at the German school Pretoria, we look at learners from the school and see which ones have potential to join us. And we then invite them for, let's say, a tryout period where they visit us for maybe 2 weeks to see what we do, and then they can give us feedback whether they are ready to join us. So that's our system currently.
Nice. We have something similar. We call it boot camp. And it's exactly like you said, it's a 2-week period in which they learn from us, and then they give an exam, and they are tested whether if you are not ready to be on the team. So it's very similar to your process.
That's amazing, yeah.
The next question. Does your name have a special meaning? For example, our name is Bravots because it's related to the name of our high school, which is Mihai Viteazul, which means Mihai the bravest.
Yeah, the brave.
The
Yeah.
brave.
The brave. Wow. Very nice. Yeah, so our Freebie Crawlies comes from back when our team was founded. So the team has been running for 10 years. It's the longest running team in Africa, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
So we're very proud of that. But it happened with the first season, 2014, the first season that our team actually competed. We had a robot, and this, I don't exactly know what the challenge was back then, but the robot was built like a caterpillar almost. So I can show you here our logo. It's like a worm,
Yeah,
like a little caterpillar. So that is it came from the robot, the first robot. And yeah, the worm sort of went over into creepy crawlies, little creepy worms. And the worm that we actually use here in our logo as well, it's the Mompani worm, which is an African delicacy. It's a it's a very exotic food, but they eat them either fried or they eat them, and they really look like this. So they have the exact same colors. They're very colorful worms.
Wow.
But yeah, that's where the logo and the name come from. It's a funny story.
Yeah.
That's very nice to hear. It's very funny. Yeah, we haven't heard that kind of idea before.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next question, which is, what was the best project that you had this season?
So the best project that we had, so there were a few good ones, but I think the best was actually building a successful robot. So this is really the first time in this 10 seasons that we've competed in where our robot was really almost fail-safe. So we've really used the whole entire knowledge from the 10 years past to build a robot that we know is going to be reliable, as reliable as possible. So on that robot, one of the biggest projects was to have a very reliable drivetrain. So our wheel system did not give us any issues this year. So that was, in my opinion, the most successful build of the season, or the most successful project. Although I might add that in the field of outreach, we've actually been able to almost double our Instagram page followers in an amount of months since we went to USA internationals last year. So it's those things. So physically, it's our drivetrain on our robot, and then like software or whatever outreach, it's been our Instagram page and yeah, connecting with other teams.
Well, that's also what we tried this year. We tried to improve our Instagram and TikTok too. We started doing more trends.
Mhm.
And we also organized more events, such as the Brave Caravan, I think it translates. It is a project in which we helped different schools in our area by giving them teaching materials. Yeah, so that was very impactful for our community. We actually reached around 60 schools, I guess. Yeah, 60 schools.
Oh,
Thank you.
amazing.
Yeah. Okay, the next question. How do you inspire interest in STEAM fields among your younger generations?
So in our school, what we have is we have a weekly assembly. I think many schools have that. So each Monday we have a full period for us, which is 45 minutes, where we just have a weekly assembly where the events from the weekend or from past weeks are like summarized. And yeah, what we do is each time we have a competition or something, we sort of take a slot in that 45 minutes, and we have the school sort of lets us present FTC and first take challenge to the entire school. So this includes grade 1s till grade 12s, and we sort of show them what we do at these competitions and how it goes. And yeah, so that's we show them this is what you can do, this is what we do, and yeah, how fun it really is. So we show them the fun aspects of joining the team, and yeah, usually everyone's very excited about it. So it's quite direct in that sense that we show them, okay, this is interesting, come join us, or just see what we're doing. That's our way of doing it.
It's amazing that you have such a beautiful connection with your school. We also have a project with our school. They let us teach and tell other high school students and also gymnasium students about the competition, about our team. And that was amazing because the children found out about our team and joined in, maybe.
Amazing.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your experience at the Worlds. What projects helped you get there, and how did you come with the new ideas that you implemented?
So our previous experience at Worlds, although it was great in essence, we couldn't really compete because we really didn't even expect to go that year. It was a complete almost uh, bit of luck that we went in first place. But even when we were there, it was a bit more stressful for us than we might have hoped, because our robot, as we said in years past, was not the most reliable. So we were constantly fixing things and everything. But we did try to reach out to a lot of teams, and we did get a lot of ideas, which we've implemented in our new robot, which made it so reliable. But we did connect with teams, and we did go around and see what other teams were doing and what was working, what was not working. Getting feedback on our own robot even. So yeah, we've done that. And our experience at Worlds, I mean, it was really fun. I mean, Worlds is a great thing to be a part of and to see how other teams are, and to see how competitive some other teams are and how amazing the robots they build are. But yeah, it was yeah, we did what we could, and we took the ideas that we could and we implemented them into our robot. Yeah, and as I said, the biggest one of those would have been the new wheels and the new drivetrain, which we got.
Well, we are glad that you had such an amazing experience at Worlds. We have the nationals competition in about
3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah, from now, and we are very excited.
Yes, very.
We hope to
Yes.
get to Worlds this year too. So yeah, that's our main goal for this season.
Yeah, no. We'll be pressing our thumbs, crossing our fingers for you.
Thank you, thank
So
you.
you'll get it.
Okay, another one, another question. What advice do you have for the teams that aspire to go to the World's Championship?
It is definitely important to have a good robot, but I think you should focus more on reliability than on competitivity. So rather have a robot that does a basic thing very good than a robot that can do everything but poorly. So focus on the basics, and it's good to realize that it's not about winning alone. I mean, there's a lot of other awards you can get. There's, I mean, the with us, the system was that it's the first place, so alliance winner, the team captain of the alliance, that team goes to internationals, and then the Inspire Award winners. So there's definitely, even if you're not the most experienced robotics team, there's opportunities for you to improve in other categories, as it may be, such as inspiring other people or telling them about FIRST, which will give you in a good position for getting the Inspire Award, so you can still go to Worlds. Because it's not all about robotics, it's about teaching the world about robotics, not competing in it.
Yeah, that's also what we tried to focus on more this year, on promoting robotics in our community and connecting with other people, and also with other teams. For example, through this podcast, through every episode, we try to connect with teams both in Romania and in other countries. Yeah, countries. In order to learn more from them and their experiences, and as much as we learn, we try to use in our day-to-day
Activities.
life. Yeah, in robotics. Yeah.
Yeah, very good, very nice.
Thank you, thank you. So, what are your future goals and aspirations for your team?
So the biggest goal, of course, is for the team to keep going on. I mean, everyone is limited to, what is it, 5 years of doing robotics at the FTC Challenge. I mean, until grade 12, I think. So the fact is that you're not going to be there the whole time. You're not going to be able to help the team every year. I mean, you could still mentor them and everything, but you want the team on its own to keep existing and to keep doing well. So that's priority number one, to make sure that it does continue going on. And also, yeah, to give the knowledge, to transfer the knowledge onto the younger people. I mean, it might be that you get 10 new people who are very excited about robotics, but then the 2 people who know what they're doing, they just leave, or they don't tell the 10 young people what actually is important, or they don't teach them anything. And then what do they have? They have nothing. So in the end, it is important to transfer that knowledge completely. So that's the advice I would give.
Okay. So we call it legacy.
Oh,
Our team legacy. So we transmit the
Knowledge over the years.
yes.
Yeah, and basically all that we know. Yeah, to our younger generations. Yeah.
I think is amazing about FIRST is that it is like a cycle of teaching and learning, and that's so awesome for high school students, because I don't know, it helps you get into a real good college, I think. What do you think, Emilia?
Yeah, well, it's certainly beneficial both for education and because you connect with people who have the same interests as you, and maybe you find out some new things. You try new things, for example, I don't know, graphic design or programming. And maybe you can find your passion. That's what this is all about, basically, for us.
Of course. No, that's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're quite similar in that respect as well.
Nice to hear.
Aspect, yeah.
Another question. Do you have any team traditions or memorable experiences that brought the team closer together?
Yeah, I think we have a few. I mean, for one, there would be the each competition. Usually, we wouldn't make it past, for instance, the regional stage. So each competition, we would come over and sleep over at the mentor's house to, finish up the notebook last minute and to fix the robot and all that.
We know.
So a lot of yeah. So that's we always slept over at our mentor, which is actually where I'm now at now. This is her house. So yeah, I think it's a very big tradition because her son actually started the team back in 2014, and she's been just helping us through all those years, giving us all the assistance we need, giving us food and a workshop to work in. So yeah, it's definitely a big tradition to sleep over the night before the competition and make sure everything is done.
Wow. That's something new.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Moving on to the next question. What is the team that you would like to meet and bond the friendship with?
Yeah, so I'd say any team that is really interested in also, reaching out to us. I mean, we'd be willing to go up to any team at this point. I mean, that's why I'm very thankful for you to invite us onto this podcast. We're very honored to be here. But I think this is a very good way to start. And I think it's important to just reach out to people. I mean, at this point, it's important to see what teams have the same goals as you and to maybe see what they do, how they work, and you realize how the internals of the team actually work together. And then see if you're willing to take up the friendship with them or to actually extend out to them and see whether they would be interested in, helping you as well and connecting with them. So yeah, that at this point we don't have a certain team we have a spot on really, but I mean you guys would definitely be up there. But we would love to really connect with any other team that's willing to put in uh, an effort for us as well. So we just want, we'll take anything. We'll reach out with any team that needs us or that we need.
That's very nice to hear. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, moving on to the next question. How do you envision robotics impacting industries or everyday life in the near future?
That's an interesting one. Yeah, I would say in a lot of regards, it could invest or, impact society in a very good way. For one, it would, create reliable infrastructure or make sure that there's a lot of jobs that might have been dangerous for humans previously that are now taken over by robots, creating less of a risk. But I mean, it is sort of a double-sided knife. There's also the dangerous part of it, not necessarily dangerous, but the sad part is that there is going to be less employment options for people who do everyday jobs, construction or something like that. It is really dangerous because obviously those people are going to lose their jobs to the machines at some point in my vision. And I mean that is not a very bright outlook for instance, South Africa, the country that we're from, that I live in, and that I'm a part of. Our unemployment rate is over 40%, which is crazy to think about. That is very sad. I mean, that is a third world country that has 40% of its people not working currently, can't work, who can't find work, and those numbers might just increase with robotics, with robots taking over jobs or something like that. So it is a double-sided knife. On the one hand, it would take risk away from people who are doing dangerous jobs and risking their lives daily. But on the other hand, it will also take jobs away that aren't that risky and that just give money to people and who need it. And yeah, would create unemployment rates higher than ever. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it's very sad to hear that the unemployment rate is going up in your country. But I expect that it will happen to every country once robotics evolves so much that it takes over people's jobs. So that's quite inevitable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for our last question, how has being a part of the robotics team influenced the personal and professional development of you, its members?
I think it's taught us a lot about working together as a team and realizing our strengths and weaknesses. I mean, we've got designated builders in our team, we've got designated programmers, we are only 4 people, but we've divided all the work equally amongst ourselves, and we've made sure that everyone actually does what they're supposed to, or we try to do that at least. And yeah, so it helps us. I mean, we're honing our skills, we're refining our skills, each in their own department. So the programmer is going to get better at programming the more he does it. And I mean, people who build will get better at building robots. So it's all about working together and realizing that you are a team and that you do have to go through the harder times, even if there's maybe a little bit of tension in the team or not, that you have to work over that and make sure that you just keep going and doing what you want to do. So yeah, I think it's helped us all become more, well, better people, brought us all closer together. And of course, it has shown us that it is very good to represent robotics and bring it to the world and show them this is what we do and this is important because this is the future. So yeah, I think it is very, very beneficial for all of us.
Well, do you have any questions for us in the end?
Yeah. How do you guys approach the idea of what is important for you guys to show to the judges, for instance? If you're going into the judges' room, how do you decide, okay, this is the most important thing that we want them to see, this is our best aspect, or well, how do you decide something like that?
Well, we study very well the criteria of the awards. And then we focus on the importance of the event, the outreach mainly. And we try as much as we can to summarize all the events because it's very important to show all your work to the judges. Yeah, that's what we do.
Amazing. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah, and then another question I would have is, since currently I'm the editor sort of for our notebook or for the portfolio, how do you have a structure? So how do you decide what is important enough to go into the portfolio? So, I mean, it is only 15 pages maximum, and I mean, that is not a lot of pages, let's face it. So how do you condense the information and how do you keep track of everything that you've done throughout the season and then put it into that small amount of pages?
Um, it's very hard to keep track of all these informations, but we have maybe how to call it a planner. And mostly when we do an event, we write about it right after it to have the evidence. And then we assemble all of these texts together. So that's how we keep track. And about the portfolio, what is important or not. As I said, we study very well the award criteria, and we focus on what the judges look for. It's very important. Then we look at other teams' portfolios for inspiration. And maybe design researching. We use Pinterest or some websites for design.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you very much. That answered
I
all my
hope I
questions.
helped you.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you. I think that was all the questions from my side.
thank you. That wraps up today's episode. We thank the Creepy Crawlies FTC team for joining us and sharing their wonderful stories with us tonight.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having me.